when their mothers crying, sees her children are dying at the hands of the other child. I know her heart is breaking, I feel the earth is shaking, but rivers flow from the tears she cries. She cries, she cries. See Rachel's weeping for her children. Rachel's weeping. Somehow someone's got to save them. Save the children. And if you say that love the answer, why don't we begin? Or will we just
Hi, this is Miss E, and welcome to Visions for a Child's Heart. Actually, this is the first interview that we've done this year, and it's at a very appropriate time as this is National Foster Care Awareness Month. And I am pleased to be able to sit here in our day that we've entitled Fostering Vision with Heart. Our guests today are Mr. Deon Price and Mr. Tom, what is your last name?
Perry.
Perry, oh, I knew that. We welcome. And so we have somewhat of a limited time today, but I just want to thank the two of you for making the commitment to be here. Some people said they would be here, they're not or weren't able to. But first of all, I guess, what does it mean to you to be able to take part in something in celebration of Foster Care Month?
Well, I'm privileged to be able to do so because I believe that our experiences someone can always learn from our experiences. Okay. So mine was not great, but it turns into a fruitful experience because I'm able to share those experiences and turn them into lessons and life lessons. So I'm always grateful that I can participate in an opportunity to share some of my experience that may mean some positive energy for someone else, particularly young people.
Yes, yes. And actually you shared your experience with us last year. You were one of our presenters for Foster Care Month, and we did fostering literacy. And the kids enjoyed it, the adults enjoyed it. And actually you can look for it on www.forachildsheart.org on the TV shows, and you'll see Mr. Deon Price. Oh, we got PPP. Polk, Price, and Perry. Hey! Wait, how do you do that? So, Tom, what is it like for you to be able to celebrate this occasion?
Well, I think having a month dedicated to National Foster Care is a good way to devote some attention to making life better for kids who are in the system, for kids who are transitioning out of the system, and for adults who have been through the system, for us all to network and come together to make life better. I think having it publicly recognized just brings the more the merrier, into teaming up towards that end.
Right. And earlier, while we were doing our vision board project, you were talking about the sense of isolation that you felt until you started to connect with other foster alumni.
Yes, yes. A national month or a time to celebrate foster care awareness is a good way to break the ice and maybe have some opportunities to build bridges of understanding, so that it doesn't have to be kind of a hidden subject swept under the rug, which it often can be.
So we don't really have the opportunity now to go through each of your life stories, but it's always interesting to me to watch stories unfold as you share some of your experiences. I remember when we did Shay and Alfonso, we were just sitting chatting and they were talking about different episodes. One talked about washing your clothes and hoping that the wrinkles would be out because you were hanging up in the bathroom, or just different little things. And it was funny then, but there were things that were not funny when they were children. So I'm just curious to know, we didn't have a chance for the two of you to talk, but what are some of the experiences that you look back upon now that you wish someone had shared with you to help you to find the humorous part of it?
Well, that was one of the survival tools for me and my
ordered, and I was thinking I'm going to show that I'm such a good boy. You won't even have to feed me. And I didn't order anything because I thought I was being polite and not imposing, you know. And when I went to live with them, I ate them out of house. I ate so much. I got in trouble because I ate the Kentucky Fried Chicken one time before we had dinner. So.
Oh, before dinner time. Okay.
I just didn't know.
Okay.
So.
Wow. And I think that says something too, that whole sense of how do I make this work? You either overcompensate or undercompensate or even undermine your even presence just to be able to belong, to fit in. What did the family say when you didn't eat anything?
Well, they were very polite too. They didn't know what to do because they just never encountered anything like that.
Wow. That's amazing.
You sure? You sure you don't want anything? They were very nice about it.
Yeah, not wanting to force you, and there's that balancing act to do. What are some of the things, well, that is humorous now, but it probably was more stressful for you then, just trying to do the right thing. What are some of the things now that you wish as a child that someone that could have been sitting here that would have said, that would have given you some inspiration or insight?
Well, Tom, it's okay to order some food and enjoy, eating at a restaurant.
Okay.
Pleasure in life, and it's good that you're, it would be good if somebody could understand my intentions instead of just thinking that was weird or shocking, and maybe acknowledge that and kind of give permission. Hey, it's okay. You don't want to impose on people, but then it's okay to enjoy the company of people. Eating together is a thing that people do to bond and make friends. They've done that for a long time.
Wow. Okay.
Well, it took me a while, being so young when I was going through that. I was so lost as to not knowing where my original family was. But if someone, what I would have liked to have a better understanding of is that at the end of the day, there is still love there. Somebody cares about you. Because when you're moving from house to house like that, you kind of lose sense that no one gives no one cares. I'm gonna say something.
You can say it. You can say it. It's the truth.
This is PG, right? Well, no one cares now. And I really thought that. So, and we at one point we went to even an extended family member's house, and I was with some of my older siblings, and they were telling us to be on your best regard. We had moved 3 or 4 times since then. So my older sister had the conscience of saying, stop whining so much, stop messing around, stop eating so much, stop being a knucklehead, or we may get moved again. And no one wanted to keep 4 kids together. It was lucky we had 4 siblings. So we were trying to be the best of the best of the best. And we finally got on to one of our extended family, like a uncle's auntie or someone that was kind of related to us. And it was the most disheartening thing was even this person sat us down. I passed on as many snacks as I could, trying to be as good as I possibly could. It was all for naught. This woman sat us down after about the 6 months and said, you know what, I love y'all, but the social worker is coming to get you. That was the moment I'm like, wow, even our family don't want you. What else is there? And so if I had someone to know, listen, this is what the only reason your parents are going through this because she's having some struggles right now. Once you get it together, the love is still there. Even though you're apart, somebody still cares about you.
Yes.
But being 8, you don't understand that. You have no idea.
Right.
So that was it. And I do appreciate. I would have liked to. No, I understand that now. But if someone had really broke it down to me that this is just something that you're going through, but eventually someone's there gonna pull you back in and get it back together. So that was a challenge for me as a young person.
So what I'm hearing you both saying, one is you're saying someone had given you a sense of hope. If the other, someone had said to you that you're okay, that you have feelings, share them with me. Tell us what you're feeling, and then I can share with you and I'll be open with you. Wow. We're going to end this segment at this point, but I just want you to take note, both for our young people who are going through things and you're not sure how you're being perceived by others, especially adults. Tell someone what you're feeling and what your concerns are. Also for our adults, please, if you see some behaviors and you're not sure what's going on, just express your concern. Don't say, well, that's just stupid or that's weird. Just say, I'm sure you must be doing that for some reason. I'm not sure what it is, and I want you to feel comfortable with who you are. So we're going to come back. Actually, I'm going to come back with a special, do I say preview? But it's going to be a special segment that no one has ever seen before. So stay tuned and do something special for a child's heart. Thank you. Hi, this is Miss E, and we're back with Mr. Tom Perry. We're still celebrating Fostering Vision with Heart, celebrating National Foster Care Month here in Vallejo, California. So, Tom, how have you been enjoying your day?
I've been having a great day.
Having a great day?
Yes.
Well, actually, I have this that I was going to pin on you, but I'm going to be an Indian giver because it's the only one that I have. But this is the pin that I believe is created by Casey Foundation. I've had these for a few years, and I'm down to my last one. It says National Foster Care Month, which is the little blue one. The big blue one, it's one that I received from author Heather O'Neill.
Yes.
And Heather was a person who's really rallying for a National Foster Children's Day, and I had the opportunity to be a guest on her radio program this week, where it's already a state holiday in the state of New Jersey. So I want you to be able to wear this in recognition as we're pinning you for the day.
Okay.
So you get to represent. And actually, you know what? Oh, we'll just stick it there. That means you can't move too fast.
Okay.
You'll get stuck or you get poked. Anyway, as we were talking, I did a segment with you and Deon, and we were talking about things that you have as memories as children, and one of the things was being able to have adults just to be able to validate your feelings. And what I talk about here is giving voice to our young people, and that's what this whole program is all about, giving voice. Because even though you're adults, I still feel like that inner child lives within.
Sure.
Yeah. So tell me what your inner child is saying right now.
Yay! Well, yeah, I think it can be easy or it can just happen. Adult life and work and responsibility can be so overwhelming that you do lose touch with the inner child. And I think in a conversation with you, talked about how you get old because you lose touch with those kinds of things. My inner child, is I suppose just kind of cooperating and being nice, and I'm not out running around playing video games or whatnot. But yeah, I think people have a need for that inner child to be nurtured and recognized, and it's okay to have this inner child. There are times and places to be adult and mature and serious, and there's time to play. There's the happiness in life. What's it all for?
Yeah.
I remember one time my dad, my foster dad, told me to be very serious. He said, don't goof off and be all business, because you need your employer to be able to trust you and know that you're going to get the job done.
Okay.
So at the time he told me that, I just bucked the advice. I didn't like that. I love to play and joke around. And after a little while, on this one job a few years ago, on day one, I decided to try it out. I was serious and just solemn as an owl. My pants split open that day. I squatted down and they just ripped open and everyone could see. And that was my first day on the job.
And wait, did you stay serious?
No, I just gave up at that point. I just let it go. I mean, it was okay. I made great friends with people at the place where I was working, delivering gas, and it was fine. It was okay. I can see merit. There is a time to be serious, There's a time and a place for that, and there's a time to play.
Right. And do you feel, as a foster child, having gone from home to home, that you missed out on some of your childhood privileges, I should say, or activities, or just being able to experience being a child?
Well, for me personally, I did have plenty of time, plenty of good experiences, plenty of good camping trips, and some good activities with friends, where we went hiking or water skiing and things like that. There was a fair amount of that. I can't say I was totally deprived. So I do have some good memories of that. I do feel, however, there is a strong sense of where you're kind of managing the kids rather than nurturing. That can be the case with a lot of kids. You're kind of herding them along to you're providing the food, clothing, and shelter.
Basics.
And you're getting the milk, but maybe not the honey. Kids need both milk and honey. They need food, clothing, and shelter, and they need the sweetness and joy of life.
Yes. I so agree with that. That is so important. And I often speak of parenting. I think you commented on a statement that I had written in response to someone talking about who was doing research on foster parents and the characteristics of foster parents. And I said there are basically three kinds: those who warehouse, those who provide the basics, and those who nurture.
Sure.
And it's so good when you can have 2 and 3 together. And I do recall your commenting on that.
Sure, and it can be a challenge. You're just meeting a new person for the first time. A new kid, and it can be a mixed bag. Each kid's got their history and their life story, and when you kind of let them in emotionally, or you try to facilitate some sweet experiences in life, you can be kind of vulnerable, and if the kid's not ready for that, it can be kind of a rejection and hurtful, and the kid can be confused too, and it can get so complicated and go both ways. You don't have these happy experiences and it's sad and depressing. You do have these happy experiences and wait a minute, I'm not used to this. Well, how do I fit in here? So it's a challenge.
Yeah, and like I say in my book, it's hard work being the village that raises a child, and that's it. It's hard, not just difficult, but it's hard. You go through changes in your heart. Sometimes your heart is heavy, sometimes your heart is light, sometimes you're just excited, and other times you're like, this is not what I signed up for. But as long as you're in touch with that, and I think that nurturing of the caregiver is also very important. And it's interesting because as an adult, now you're able to see that and look at that. How did you come to that conclusion, or where did that insight come for you?
Well, we have hindsight that's 20/20 vision, but we have to live our lives looking forward. When you're a kid, you've got a lot of things to accomplish. You're automatically just trying to grow up. You're trying to develop naturally. You're trying to, develop emotionally and physically, and that takes up a lot of your attention involuntarily. It's just on your mind. And then when there's some chaos in your environment with instability of your home or your school and all these different things that change so much, and that's asking for your mental attention to cope with that too. It's a lot to ask for, and you have to adapt somehow. I think with time and with just a lot of blessings, I was very fortunate that I went on to college after I aged out of the system. I didn't have a lot of focus in my college career. I studied Chinese and finally psychology. That helped out a lot. Church was a big influence, in helping me to just contemplate and gain a lot of insight. A lot of kids, when they're aging out, their attention is grabbed by finding something to eat, finding some place to live, finding somewhere to sleep. And you're not going to get a lot of chance for contemplation unless you're sitting there with nowhere to go. You're stuck. I think talking with friends and kind of recreating family through life also helps when you learn of other people's experiences and you have some contrast.
Right. And talking with friends who have positive outlook, positive goals, looking forward. Something you said that just struck a question in my mind, and it sort of disappeared. You commented about, contemplating and having studied psychology. Did you do therapy as a child? Did you ever go to therapy?
I did a little bit of therapy, not too much. I didn't have a lot of formal therapy in an office with a psychiatrist.
Yeah, something has bothered me because this just turn your back to it. You don't want to lose your camera too.
No, I lost my
That's
camera.
okay. See, I knew I would be messing up something, but it's just, I know when I look at it and I'm going to see that it was like, oh, yeah, there you go.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay. So, I remember visiting a psychiatrist one time when I was 11, and it was sort of an intake procedure, kind of an assessment. What do we got with this kid? You know, what are we dealing with in taking this kid into the system? It wasn't really therapeutic. It was more kind of an assessment.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't know that at the time. I was just cooperating and being a good boy and
So you were about
trying not to make anybody mad.
9 years old about this time? 8 or 9?
I think well, I was about 11 at the time. Things that were very therapeutic for me were kind of a mixed bag, mixed blessing. My mother's natural affection. Even though she was mentally ill, schizophrenic, she would come to visit every other weekend, and that had a good effect for me because of that natural affection. She was just there to visit me because she loved me. She didn't have any ulterior motives or anything, and that was very securing and comforting for me. Part of the challenge and why it was confusing because she was kind of demonized for being schizophrenic, and